KSAN's Mark Brown is at the Concho Valley Regional Food Bank, where they're hosting an open food bank, the Farmers to Families Drive. Mark, what are you seeing out there?
Yep, that's right, Lizette. We are currently out here at the Concho Valley Regional Food Bank here in San Angelo, and behind us, we do have a lot of cars here, so it is really packed. And joined beside me is the director, Mr. Lee Pipkin. So, Mr. Lee, how's everything going so far?
Man, we're doing wonderful out here. We're serving a lot of people. We've got a great group of volunteers that have come out to help us. And the important thing is we're getting food in some people's pantries.
Yep, that's right. And speaking of that, we know it's a little bit different this year due to COVID-19 concerns, and how you guys handling that so far?
Well, we're taking as best precautions as we can, social distancing, trying to do it as contactless as possible, distributing this food that came to us from the Farm to Family program.
And do you have any additional information you'd like to share before we go?
It's about to wrap it up. We'll be here and try to distribute as much as we can.
Yep, you heard it here first on KSAN News. This is Mark Brown. Back to you, Lizette.
It's the 100-degree mark all the way up to the 4th of July mark.
Thanks again, Aaron. So just with that being said, everybody stay safe out there. I know the coronavirus is still going up, so put your mask on, practice social distancing, and that's all the time we have for KSAN News. Have a great night. Fans, loved ones, and former teammates of Kobe Bryant celebrated his life and legacy last night at the Staples Center. Their tribute to the late basketball star moving to many tears. NBC's Steve Patterson was there.
Last night, the Staples Center, known as the house that Kobe built, transformed into a hardwood shrine to the basketball icon's legacy. In the first game back since losing their brother, every Laker came wearing his jersey, taking the court in his memory.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe's widow, Vanessa Bryant, posting a picture of her husband and daughter's jerseys draping empty seats, saying there's no number 24 without number 2. Lakers leader LeBron James spoke to the fans.
Tonight, we celebrate the kid that came here at 18 years of age, retired at 38, and became probably the best dad that we've seen over the last 3 years, man.
While Shaq spoke about the man he called a younger brother at an event in Miami.
The pain's going to always be here. Even when I get 50, 60, 70, the pain's going to always be here.
Today, international stars from another game Kobe loved showed their appreciation. Soccer players paused for a moment of silence ahead of their match. Back in Philadelphia this afternoon, Kobe's hometown high school Lower Merion came together in the gym named after his legacy. Meanwhile, the NTSB investigating what went wrong in the crash that killed Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and 7 others. Sources close to the investigation telling NBC News that while the pilot, Ara Zabayan, was certified to fly by instrument in low visibility, the charter company, Island Express Helicopters, was not. Though a former pilot for Island Express says that's common for companies in Southern California with typically clear skies. As unanswered questions swirl about Kobe's death, millions pay homage to his legend.
Now from San Angelo's News Channel, this is your KSAN News at 10.
Good evening, and thanks for tuning in to KSAN Weekend News at 10. I'm Mark Brown. Whew. We begin tonight with some devastating news. 18-time NBA All-Star Kobe Bryant is dead. He and his daughter, Gianna, died early this morning in a helicopter crash in Southern California. CNN's Polo Sandoval has this remembrance.
He was born Kobe Bean Bryant, but to the world, the 41-year-old was a global basketball phenomenon. The son of a pro basketball player, the Philly native finished high school and was quickly drafted by the NBA.
Greatness lies ahead for this young man.
At the time, Bryant was the youngest player in the league's history at just over 17 years old.
I think a lot of people, even when I came out of high school, I think people were kind of giving me the cold shoulder to begin with, because I think, unfortunately, some people wanted me to fail because I defied the odds.
The MVP spent his entire pro career with the LA Lakers, winning 5 NBA championships with the team. During his 20 seasons, Bryant became one of the league's top-scoring players, even surpassed Michael Jordan, becoming 4th on the NBA's all-time scoring list. On 2 occasions, he helped secure Team USA Olympic gold on the world stage. Bryant dealt with controversy, too. In 2003, he was charged with sexual assault, accused of raping a 19-year-old hotel employee. The charge was later dropped, and the case was settled in civil court. Bryant also overcame various sport-related injuries, always determined to heal and return to the court. Then in the fall of 2015, he announced his plan to retire from the NBA and played his final game in 2016. The following year, his jersey numbers 8 and 24 were retired. Since then, he has made his mark on Hollywood, winning an Academy Award for his animated film, Dear Basketball. But his greatest accomplishment may have been off the hardwood. He was a husband and proud father of 4 children.
We all have moments like this in life where it just seems like that day is never going to end. You know, it just seems like the moment that you're in just feels like the darkest moment to you. You know, and at that point, you really kind of have to step outside of yourself and put it in perspective and understand that, you know, I've had many, many blessings, a lot of things to be thankful for.
At 6'6", Bryant was more than just a literal giant. LA Mayor Eric Garcetti wrote, Bryant inspired, amazed, and thrilled people everywhere with his incomparable skill on the court, and awed us with his intellect and humility as a father, husband, creative genius, and ambassador for the game he loved. Polo Sandoval, CNN, New York.
Bryant is survived by his wife, Vanessa, and their other 3 daughters. The youngest, Capri, was just born in June. Rachel will have more details on his legacy later on in sports. With the Super Bowl on tap this Sunday, it only makes sense that Saturday Night Live would have an NFL player hosting this week. That player is Houston Texans star J.J. Watt. Mark Barger has a preview.
I like it. Eating super spicy chicken wings with Jimmy Fallon.
When you breathe, it hurts.
Turned up the heat on J.J. Watt.
Hi, I'm J.J. Watt.
But the NFL star really steps into the fire this week, hosting Saturday Night Live.
You scared?
No.
I've already been knocked on my butt on national television in front of millions of people, so I can't really humiliate myself a whole lot more.
Watt showed Fallon his Justin Timberlake-inspired dance moves and talked about the celebrity who offered to officiate at his upcoming wedding.
Do you take this woman to be your wife? I'll be back. I'm going to get the rings.
But SNL is a different beast. The Rock reached out with hosting advice. Watt also texted with Peyton Manning, who may have set the bar for athletes hosting the show.
The biggest thing they said is just have fun with it. You know, it's SNL. Be confident, have fun, and buy in.
Watt's not only carrying the Houston Texans flag, he's also one of the rare defensive players in the SNL spotlight.
Maybe we'll see some more defensive players in the future. I don't know. I have a younger brother, and he's kind of funny, so you never know.
Watt can help the cause on the comedy equivalent of Game Day.
I think it's going to be a different adrenaline rush than I've ever had, and I'm really looking forward to that.
But he's pretty much done with the wings.
The air hurts.
Mark Barger, NBC News.
The Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers are officially on their way to Miami for Super Bowl 54. It's the first time since the 1969 season the Kansas City Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl. For Chiefs and Andy Reid, this is his second trip to the Super Bowl as a head coach. 15 years ago, he took the Philadelphia Eagles to the NFL championship game. On the other side, the 49ers roster has limited Super Bowl experience. Their quarterback has 2 Super Bowl rings, serving as the backup to Tom Brady in 2 Patriot championships. Next stop, Miami, where the Chiefs are favored by 1.
The 2020-2021 school year officially started for the San Angelo Independent School District earlier this week. The beginning of a new school year also brings football season back to life. The UIL gave all 4A schools and below the green light to start on time, while 5A and 6A schools will start next month. Lakeview High School head coach Hector Guevara is doing what he can to keep his players safe in the Texas heat.
As far as the heat, we've been going in the mornings this past 2 seasons, so that's kind of been helpful. We hydrate the kids as much as possible, you know, and we give breaks, and in between drills and stuff like that. So.
As far as COVID-19 safety protocols, Coach Guevara is making sure his players are constantly following health guidelines issued from the UIL and the CDC. Some procedures players follow, such as using hand gel in between breaks during practice and wearing masks with their helmets off, is a top priority. So far, the players are paying attention to every detail.
We're doing the best, you know, following the SISD guidelines and UIL guidelines. You know, we have gel. We disinfect everything out there after we use it. As far as sleds, you know, footballs, everything.
Coach Guevara says every locker room will be thoroughly sanitized while they travel to away games. The coaching staff and players will practice social distancing and wear masks inside the bus as well.
This process will be repeated all season long.
Things will change. It's a fluid situation, so but we'll just keep updated with everything they send us, and we'll continue what we're asked to do. And like I said, we'll just keep an eye out if there's any other changes as we go.
Teams will take care of each other throughout the season in order to slow the spread of the virus. Mark Brown, KSAN News.